You're not behind. God is preparing you for something greater. Have you ever looked around and thought, why does everyone else seem further ahead than me? You scroll through your phone, see people winning, achieving, living their dream, and you start to wonder, did I miss my moment? But listen to me, you are not behind. You're not forgotten. You're in preparation. Because when God is getting ready to elevate you, He doesn't rush. He refines. And sometimes that refining looks like delay. But that delay is not denial, it's development. Stay with me because by the end of this message, you'll understand exactly why your current struggle is building your future strength. We live in a world obsessed with speed, fast money, fast fame, fast validation. But destiny doesn't move at the speed of Wi-Fi. It moves at the speed of faith. When you plant a seed in the ground, it doesn't grow overnight. There's a hidden process. The roots grow downward long before the branches grow upward. That's what God is doing in your life right now. He's building your roots. Because if your character can't hold your calling, your gift will crush you. If your foundation isn't ready, success will expose your cracks. So, when it feels like you're being buried, understand, you're not buried. You're being planted. Every great story begins in the dark. Every breakthrough is born in a season of breaking. Every champion has a chapter where no one clapped for them. And that's where you are right now, the hidden chapter that prepares the hero. You see, the world will tell you, hustle harder, grind non-stop. But true transformation doesn't happen in chaos. It happens in stillness. It happens when you step back and say, God, I don't know what you're doing, but I trust you anyway. Faith is not pretending everything's okay. Faith is believing there's purpose even when it's not. And that's where real strength is born. Not when you're at your best, but when you're broken and still moving forward. Some of you are frustrated because life feels like it's moving in reverse. But sometimes, God pulls you back like a bow, because the tension is what launches you further. The resistance is what builds your reach. The waiting season is what shapes your weapon. Don't curse the process that's producing your power. When you ask God for strength, He gives you struggles that teach you how to stand. When you ask for wisdom, He gives you problems that require it. When you ask for growth, He gives you discomfort that demands it. That's not punishment, that's preparation. You've got to stop comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel, because you don't know what chapter they're on. You don't know what it took for them to get there. And maybe the reason your journey looks different is because your purpose is different. If God has called you to build something eternal, He's not going to build it overnight. Some of the strongest trees in the world, the oaks, the redwoods, take years before you even see their true growth. But once they rise, they can weather any storm. You're not late. You're being rooted. Let me tell you something powerful. Every delay, every disappointment, every closed door wasn't rejection. It was redirection. Some of the things you prayed for didn't happen. Not because God ignored you, but because He was protecting you. You thought you wanted that relationship, but if you had gotten it, you'd have lost yourself. You thought you wanted that job, but it would have drained your purpose. You thought you wanted that shortcut, but shortcuts don't lead to destiny. So instead of asking, why me? Start saying, what is this teaching me? Because God never wastes a wound. He never wastes waiting. He never wastes anything surrendered to Him. Sometimes God will hide you until you're ready. He'll cover you like a seed in darkness, so you can grow roots before you're seen. You might feel overlooked, but you're not unseen. You might feel stuck, but you're actually being strengthened. You don't need to chase visibility. You need to chase development, because visibility without maturity destroys destiny. That's why some people get fame before foundation and they fall. That's why God is taking his time with you. He's building something that will last. When life feels like it's falling apart, it might actually be falling into place. The doors that close, the people who leave, the plans that collapse, they're not the end. They're evidence that you're being redirected to something better. There's a divine rhythm to your life, and even the painful parts have a purpose. Because sometimes you won't understand what God is doing until you look back and say, if that didn't break, I wouldn't have been built. Now hear this. The greatest threat to your destiny isn't failure. It's distraction. The enemy doesn't have to destroy you. He just needs to distract you, to keep you scrolling, comparing, overthinking, doubting. But the moment you protect your peace, the moment you silence the noise, you'll start hearing God's direction again. Peace is not weakness, it's power. Stillness is not laziness, it's strategy. That's why Jesus often withdrew to quiet places. Not to escape, but to recharge. You need those same sacred pauses. Because when you step away from the world's noise, you make space for heaven's whisper. And maybe right now, you're in a chapter that makes no sense. The job didn't work out. The relationship fell apart. The plan you had just didn't happen. You're asking, God, where are you? And he's saying, right here, working in the silence. Because sometimes God's greatest work happens when you feel forgotten. He's not ignoring you, he's preparing you. He's not punishing you, he's positioning you. The silence isn't absence. It's alignment. Let's talk about purpose for a moment. Your purpose isn't found in comfort. It's found in calling. And calling often begins with chaos. Before David became king, he faced lions and giants. Before Joseph led Egypt, he was betrayed and imprisoned. Before Jesus performed miracles, he spent years in obscurity. Your waiting season isn't wasted, it's training. Every difficulty is developing a dimension of your destiny. Every heartbreak is hardening your resolve. Every disappointment is deepening your dependence on God. You don't grow on the mountaintop, you grow in the valley. So today, stop seeing yourself as behind. You're becoming, you're evolving, you're stepping into a version of yourself that pain is producing and patience is refining. And when your moment comes, you'll be ready, because you'll have the character to carry it. You'll move different. You'll speak with wisdom. You'll love deeper. You'll walk in peace that no storm can shake. Remember this: success without surrender is hollow. Achievement without peace is temporary. But when you walk with God, even your delays are divine. So take a deep breath. You are exactly where you need to be. The process is preparing you for the promise. Don't rush it. Don't resent it. Respect it. Because the longer the wait, the greater the weight of glory that's coming. When you feel lost, stay faithful. When you feel forgotten, stay focused. When you feel broken, stay believing. Because your breakthrough is closer than it feels. One day you'll look back on this season and realize it was the turning point, the moment everything changed. Not because your situation shifted, but because you did. And when that day comes, you'll finally understand you were never behind. You were being built. So keep going, keep growing, and never forget, God is preparing you for something greater.